Hey everyone, I'm Matt.
Hi, I'm Desiree.
And we're bringing you this week's Rising Tide West Coast Swing Guide.
This week on the guide, we are starting a new series on basket whips. Basket whips are an 8-count whip pattern that was danced a lot more in earlier eras of West Coast swing dance. However, it's still a really important starting point for a lot of basket whip variations that are danced socially and competitively today. It's also a really great pattern, and you'll see this, to help followers practice elasticizing at the end of the slot. So we're going to start out this time with our basic basket whip, and then in later guides in the series, we're going to get to some really interesting variations. Watch this.
1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Breaking this down for our leaders, we can start our basic basket whip from our normal handhold or from a double handhold, which makes it a little bit easier at first. As we're going count 1 into count 2, I'm thinking about moving both of my hands toward the center line of Desiree's body. That way she knows she can't turn this way, she can't turn this way, because they're both moving at the same rate, so she just goes straight forward. Count 3, I'm popping my left hand over to Desiree's left shoulder, dropping the right one down to Desiree's right hip. We want to be careful, leaders, we don't get stuck in the middle here. Our followers can't connect very well in this position. We want to really stick to those structure points. 3, and on count 4, I'm crossing the slot. Count 5, I'm turning and getting out of Desiree's way as I release my right hand. 6, I'm continuing to turn and getting back in the slot, and then tripling it out for 7 and 8.
For followers, we want to remember our basic turn technique when we get into the basket whips. That can really help us with counts 1, 2, and 3. What I mean by that is when the hand is lifted on count 2, regardless of whether or not there's a 2-hand hold or a 1-hand hold, we don't want to take that as an automatic cue to turn ourselves. Anytime we rotate in West Coast swing, we need to stay a hair behind the lead to make sure that we're following the number of spins indicated, how fast the spin goes. And in this case, if we are patient on the leader, we will recognize that the raised hand on 2 actually does not indicate rotation. Our footwork for 1, 2, 3, and is actually straight forward. We're going to want to do this with an upright posture to maintain our frame, but with really relaxed arms. If our arms are tensed or pushed up or away from body, we won't get to those structure points, the shoulder and the hip, that allow the leader to connect with us and also allow us to practice that elasticizing of the connection on this end of the slot. For count 3, and we're stretching away, and as leader crosses the slot for 4, that will redirect us, if we've given the leader good stretch, back on our right foot. By count 5, we're also taking a step back. We'll find that this feels a lot like the regular whip, which means that our rest of our footwork in filling out the slot is back for 6, and 7 and 8 to anchor.
Showing this one more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That was your guide. Thank you everyone for tuning in. You can check us out online at mattdaviswing.com. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter as Rising Tide Swing Dance Studio.
Bye!